Here you see some deer tracks coming down here on the back walking trails. Here a bunch of deer been coming through here. They love this little trail. They eat here in the meadow. You can hear the our little streams running pretty good. So coming through these walking trails on the lower 40, I call it, of the property. So this is coming down. A few years ago I built this little dam. This is all overgrown with the invasive, of all things, Himalayan blackberries that I think they're brought over here during the gold mining rush in the 1800s. All these blackberries, you can't see them, they're very sharp. So they just invasive species, they just take over. So there's a little pond here that's year round. It's not too big as you see, but it's a little year round pond. Back here through the little back area, little camping site we built. This is a nice little private area down here. You can camp out next to the river, little stream, and then I just have a good old time. Here's the blackberries. You see how they're kind of the green blanket with the snow on it. It's just like a little hidden area to camp. It's a little overpass here. I'm gonna go underneath. The green tubings, I hooked it up to the spring in the late summer, and that pumps the water by gravity down to this I think it's like 1,000 or a few thousand gallon holding tank I have down here. So this is the little river, the stream area. This was all overgrown over my head. I had to cut these out by hand with the machete and stuff. So this doesn't look that big, but this barrel is actually, that goes down about 10 feet. And that was put in by the, I don't know, about 80 years ago by the original owner. This was like a 150 acre property originally. There's the little cubby. So this was originally a farm. I don't know what kind of farm, but that was the animal water. That's what that green hose is for. It just plugs into the all year round spring, and it feeds this for watering plants, animals, gardens, whatever you want to do. So this stream runs most of the year, and it's pretty good flow. Even in the summertime, it's not flowing down here, but it's flowing up through that. The pond's always full, but you always have water. It's spring water. This little area here was where I kept the chicken coop down here. So I moved it up top next to the house. So this is a chicken coop area, or it's another campground for kids. Here's another one of these arch trees. This happened during the big blizzard of, I think it was 2019, all the trees. We got snowed in for 15 days. So this is a lot of the tree damage. You can see how these trees were just split and knocked over. The roads were, I mean, it was every 1/10 of a mile there was a tree across the road, so they had to cut the trees out, and it was a real whopper. Plus we had no electricity all that time for 15 days because even these power lines were down. The trees just wiped out all the power lines everywhere. Basically everywhere you turn there was a tree down. You couldn't look where there was a tree. So this is a little nice little tree picnic area down here. I guess let picnic tables hang out. Walk around, hiking trails. Kids like to run around and play games. My boys used to play down here when they were younger. Now they're both electrical engineers at Northern Arizona University in Flagstaff, and the other one is UCLA, so they're both double E. So anyways, this is a big area here. It gets a little drier in the summer, so you could camp here as well, another camp area. So, I mean, just a lot of camping. I ride, you can ride ATVs, sometimes ride ATVs. I have this old wheel horse tractor we made into like a four-wheeler mud tractor. It's a mini tractor from the 70s with the 8-speed tranny. It's got the big mud tires on it, so we come just drive around. Nothing too crazy, just putt around. And this is pretty deep mud here. I don't want to sink. I got stuck in here once. Had to put a winch on my tractor to get out. But this little bridge, this is a lot of the debris, broken logs. I just built a little, this was a pretty steep, so I built this ramp kind of bridge thing to get through here to build these other trails. You see there's the bridge kind of ramp. And that could probably be built up. You can make a nice little dam there and have a nice little wading pool or something. So there's a trail that goes that way. Here's another trail. And these are all blackberries that you see here that are dormant. So it's pretty nice. We have a lot of blackberries, so you can make jam, blackberry pie, all kinds of stuff. So these are all blackberries. So these grow up taller than me when they're smashed down because of the snow, but they're overhead, probably 6-8 feet. You can see how they grow up into the trees. Had to cut all this out with a machete. I mean, some of the trees, it was hard to get the blackberries to get them cut back in. There's more blackberries, but when they're producing, you just reach out and just grab blackberries by the bucket full here. I mean, they're all over the whole property down here. All these bushes are blackberries. So this path, so you could ride like ATVs. There's multiple trails. We just use them for walking trails or driving a little tractor or off-road tractors on. So down here, it's a pretty nice camping area as well. It's nice. You can camp here and you can see the kids from the house, so they're safe. Like usually they like to be under this big pine tree here. Here's our hole, I think our 2-hole golf course here. So this is this is a golf putting green kind of thing. You know, not it's not Hilton Head or anything like that, but it does the trick. And kids play soccer, they hit the baseball around down here, so it's a pretty good play area. Play football. So if you could, oh, here comes the snow plow. There it goes. Well, that's good. Maybe I can get the supermarket, get some eggs. But so this whole area here, I used to mow by hand. By weed whacker would take me about like 4 days to clear this. And then I bought a push mower. That took me 2 days. And then I upgraded. I have a riding lawn mower, nice John Deere 42-inch deck cutter, and I can get her done in about 4 hours, the whole thing. And I've weighted the tires and put weights on the bottom so the center of gravity is lower than a normal tractor. So I can get up. These hills aren't too bad, so I haven't flipped it yet. So this is a good tree here. Used to be a swing here. You could just put a swing set in. All these branches, all these trees are nice swing set trees. The deer always like to hang out down here. So they're always down here right in this area because I think they like the water. We just walked down there to the pond, little pond, and this is actually a year-round spring-fed little creek or river. So I mean, this is and this is the winter time, and it's got a good flow. And then once the snow melts, this is gonna probably get pretty full. And you see the house is pretty high up there, so I never worry about. I mean, if it floods that, we're all in trouble. So it's not gonna flood. I've never seen it spill over the banks. So again, and this part of the property here up front. What I did is I cut back. I didn't cut these blackberries because these form a nice natural hedge. Again, in the summertime, these things are 8-10 feet tall. You'd be surprised they spring up. They're just compacted from the snow, but these blackberries get tall. It's basically impenetrable fence. So when you're inside here, it's fenced in with these blackberries. You can't. I challenge anyone in the summer to try to go. You can't. It's like Brer Rabbit. You cannot get through these things. So there's like another little camp area under that tree, which is nice. But you got to walk around through the front of the property. And we do. Luckily, we have fiber. We just got fiber optic. We got 1 gigabit. You can get up to 2 gigabits. I'm cheap, so I just got the 1 gig data plan from Frontier. My friends at Frontier. So we've only had internet for about 45 days, and we're loving it. Before that, it was all wireless for 20 years. Cell phone wireless plans. That worked pretty good, but had its limitations. We had a bunch of phones, like 4 or 5 phones, so everyone had their own personal hotspot. That just gets expensive. Fiber's nice because it's set it and forget it. You know, everything's just permanent Wi-Fi. I feel spoiled now. I don't want to turn my devices on. I always think I have to dial into the hotspot, but now I got a wireless router up there, a boosted one. I could probably pick it up. I could pick it up down here. So this whole property is gigabit Ethernet. I mean gigabit wireless. You can have a picnic and stream multiple ultra high definition videos, all kinds of stuff. It's kind of crazy. So this road we're on here is actually a dirt road. Was the original property. It followed this telephone line up here, which they keep threatening to come in and put it underground. So that might happen. Probably think the next 5 years. I don't know, something like that. That'd be nice. It's not too bad. It's little. So this is the actual dirt road. So I call this Hartman Way. So it's the actual road that went into the original large property. It's since then been chopped up a little bit. So we'll move on down here. This is a nice little green lawn area here, just a nice buffer. There's my power meter. And then we'll continue the tour in the next segment.